Hi there. Thank you for tuning in to Grow Your Gifts. Today is What is WWOOF Part 4. So we left off, we're going to go to the island. Of course, I did remember a few key things about Kelowna. The host there was so sweet. The dad of the family showed me around before I left. First, he took me to this place, like, I don't know, the names are, I got the names all wrong, but that's okay. It's like Frequency Cafe, Frequency Studio, something. And because, I'm always talking about my out there stuff while we're working in the field. And he's like, "Oh, this is right up your alley, Hema. You're going to love this, even though you don't drink wine." But I knew he was going to take me there, so I came prepared and I brought my own kombucha. um, so, I enjoyed watching him do the wine tasting, but mostly we were there because they were using sound to affect the wine or something. It was really cool. They had a studio in there, and uh, I'm getting this all wrong, but I literally just learned about like this video where, they put the cellophane on the subwoofer, cling film, whatever, and the music plays different beats or something, and it makes different shapes. Okay, I described that so badly, but I think you get what I mean. It's pretty mind blowing. It's kind of cool. So the sand on there, and it makes different shapes with the vibrations, with the sound, and the beats, and the rhythm, and the I don't know what, but it was interesting to see that connection. It was just so lovely decorated. It was so artful. It was so beautiful just stepping into that space. You could really tell they put a lot of heart into their winery and their studio and their music and all of it. It was just like I had a great time chatting with the lady, who's explaining everything and helping with the tasting and everything. It was really nice. This was a fun-filled, packed day. So the host also took me to a honeybee farm, something like that, and it was all like lavender bee. That's where they got most of their nectar. These bees, honeybees from the lavender farm, and when you go inside, like every product has honey in it, like everything. Not just what you can eat, but put on your skin and chapstick and you name it. It's like in there. And then you go into this other room and they kind of show you like a behind the scenes what the bees do. But they're in this see-through case thing, and it just kind of shows you like the honeycomb, and there's just one bee like going through the see-through tube, and kind of like you get to get a glimpse inside. It's really cool just to see it in person, and just walk around that that farm area. It was so beautiful. Some are winding down a little bit. It was just such a nice day. And then the third place he took me to is like a old train track, but like it's so hard to describe. The view was incredible. It like winds around this mountain. I'll call it mountain, and so there's no trains going there anymore. And then there's like a bridge too, and you can walk on the bridge. Everybody's walking. It's like a tourist attraction, and the view like looking below. It's at like a great height, and it was just like a really nice trail, really beautiful. So we went on a long walk there so we could really get the full view of everything. Took some photos. It was really sweet. And yeah, it was just really very naturey and scenic, just stunning to see that in Kelowna. I really loved it. Um, yeah, so sorry I didn't know the actual names of everything. I didn't have time to look it up. For people who live locally in Kelowna, you're probably like, it's called this. uh, if you're watching, or if you live in BC, maybe or used to live in BC, I don't know, in British Columbia. So I just wanted to mention too that with WWOOF and Workaway, um, there are, well, I know for sure with Workaway, there's options for people if they, not everywhere, but some places, if they want to bring their camper trailer and hook it up there, you kind of get more privacy. Or if it's summertime and you want to set up a tent, sometimes they have a tent for you and bedding and everything. You kind of get more privacy that way, so you're not sleeping right in their home. But you do need to go in there to share the kitchen, usually in the washroom and stuff. But even I saw some postings have like a tiny home or on wheels space for you and like hookups and stuff. So it just really depends. There's a lot of options. You can kind of cater it to your lifestyle and your needs in that way. So yeah, I really, really love woofing and all the ideas. If it works for you, if that's what you're into, and you have some money saved up, because you do need some money for traveling and things like that, because it's exchange. You're not making any money unless you're doing, some people do WWOOF or Workaway because it's only 25 hours a week, and then they also do like a part-time job, or some are actually paid positions. So I was looking into that for a while, because I was like, oh, maybe I could work on the coast by Tofino. And there's a lot of, like, it's a tourist attraction, right? So there's a lot of places that are looking for work, but you can get a situation where it's like not that much pay, but you get free room and board. So you can kind of, work your budget and save your money and stay in this touristy, beautiful area that's like springtime weather most of the year or something. Or at least in the summer, it's really nice, I heard. I haven't been to Tofino, but yeah, there's a lot, and it kind of, on Workaway, it has like on the corner, it says paid position. So, I mean, you really need to look at all the details. I think once you start going and searching, you kind of see where you're going to gravitate towards first. Like immediately I go scroll down to accommodation. I'm like, okay, what is that about? So, and then I look at what are they looking for. Like sometimes they have very specific needs that they are looking for, and I'm like, no, I'm not a woodworker. I don't do this, or I don't do that, or whatever. Uh, it's not the right match. So it's easy to kind of flip through and find what's the right match once you get to know what your preferences are, really. So next is, let's see, I went to Ashcroft, from the Kamloops, Vernon, and Nelson, and Winlaw, and Kelowna, the Lavender Farm. And then we went all the way to Merville on Vancouver Island, which was really great because I got to, just the travel alone was awesome. So I got to go from Nelson, the hostel, to some bus, which took me to Vancouver City, which took me to the train, where I saw some depressing scenes, like homeless and stuff, and it was very sad. And then I, trekking with my 2 suitcases and then some, and then I went from the train to the subway, underground. So yeah, I had to like leave one suitcase at the bottom of the stairs, carry the other one to the top of the stairs, go run down and carry the other one. I was like ready to fight anyone. It was like, because it's like Vancouver city it gave me Toronto vibes, so it's like gotta have my guard up just in case. This is my luggage. And yeah, I'm not into fighting, but I took self-defense. It's more about your voice, and the more you swear and yell, people are like, "Well, she's crazy." let's just leave this one alone. Yeah, that's a little trick I learned. So, yeah, that was good. It was all daytime, so thank goodness for that. I figured out how to use their transit all by myself. I'm pretty tech savvy that way. I mean, it's easy with Google. Everything's there. But it can be tricky sometimes, especially if you're in an unfamiliar land. But yeah, So I'm pretty good with that. So once I was off the subway, then I took the bus from Vancouver City to the ferry. And of course, I found right near the ferry a great cafe to get myself a little caffeine boost after all that traveling and, go washroom and everything and eat something. Oh my gosh, it was such a good coffee. And the ferry itself was like, wow, it was massive. It was like huge. It was like a cruise ship, and I've never been on a cruise ship at that point. So I was like, whoa, what is this? This is so pretty. I'm used to like Toronto Island ferry kind of thing. No, it was a really big ship. And just getting on that ferry and going, because my luggage is all checked in, so I, traveling a little lighter around the ship and getting a good view. And I got to Vancouver Island, and right away I get like these magical vibes. So I was staying in Nanaimo, I think it's called, for one night, and the woman was so nice. The Airbnb, the host there, she came and picked me up from the ferry place, which was great because it was like pouring rain, and then her little like cottage house right there is so charming, and it's just like those fairy vibes, and just like, oh my gosh, it was really, really charming. And yeah, it was just a very nice, wonderful, clean, chill Airbnb. We had a great talk. She had everything there. I had my, box of mac and cheese ready to make that. She had butter and milk. I was like, whatever. It doesn't matter if it's the kind of milk I digest usually or not. I'm just making do. I love me a box of mac and cheese if I have nothing else. I mean, I prefer to make it from scratch, but beggars can't be choosers. Let's just do this. So, yeah, and I enjoyed, talking with them at dinner time. So it was very, very good conversations and comfortable room. Everything was great. And then she dropped me off to the location I needed to get to, which was the island bus. I mean, as soon as I get on the island, I feel like I'm an island person. No matter what the weather, if it's an island, it's for me. So island bus is so cute. It's just like a 12-person van or something like that. 12, maybe more than 12. I don't know, but very cute. So that took me to Merville. With all my luggage. And I always let everybody know beforehand, I have this much luggage exactly, is that okay? To make sure and confirm. And I get confirmation, because it is a lot for one person to be traveling with that much stuff. I thought I was going to stay at the one place for 6 months, but things changed, and that's okay. It actually worked out for the best. Got to travel all over BC. So once I got to Merville, my placement there, my fourth, woofing placement, Merville, Vancouver Island, BC. I was doing childcare for 3 children. I worked with chickens again, organized the house, and did some light housework. So the very first thing that I checked out online was this nature trail. I think it was called like Seal Bay Trail or something. And it was so beautiful. So the weather was winding down. I was there for Halloween, so it was like, yeah, I definitely wasn't able to swim in the ocean. But oh my gosh, this trail was amazing. Like I think I slept the first night, and then the first thing I did right early in the morning, because we figured out which hours I would be working and stuff, was for the first day she didn't need much help, but the second day she did. So I went to check out this trail. I couldn't wait. There's so many different ways to go, and I just went for really long walks on, and it was just so pretty. And there was like bridges, and I don't even know how to describe it. So I walked and walked and walked, and finally I got to the ocean. I mean, is it a bay? Is it a strait? I made the mistake of saying, yeah, this is straight there, because that's what it said on the map, and people got offended. They're like, no, it's the ocean. I was like, oh no. Yeah, so it is all connected. So called it the ocean from then on. Yeah, that was like one of my favorite parts. And the thing about BC, all the trails I went on, especially my first placement, they gave me a bear bell for safety. So I was not used to that. Like, you don't have to worry about bears here in Ontario, like not this part of, near Toronto area. Definitely not here. So the most I'll see is like a coyote, but it's just sad. They're just very skinny and they're like hungry. Um, and they just look like a dog, basically. The skinny, hungry dog with no leash. I'm like, oh, that dog has no leash. Oh, it's a coyote. I think it's called coyote. Anyways, so yeah, to basically, I'm used to taking a sandwich or snacks or something with me, but they have very strict rules on these trails. Like, just it's better not to pack anything just in case, and they don't have like garbages everywhere like we do in our Ontario trails. It's like you just eat your snack and like, oh, there's a garbage, okay, that's where people put their dog poop or whatever, those bags. And there's garbages everywhere when you go in nature over here, so not there. So I also wasn't used to that. I'm like, I just don't want to attract any wildlife to me in an aggressive way. So I know their sense of smell generally for animals is pretty good, so I better just keep it to a bottle of water and whatever else I need. So that was a tricky part for me going on long trails because I do get hungry, but I figured it out. Um, yeah, and I went. There's so many different routes to take on this trail, and there's always like a little map or legend or something, and I have it on my phone as well, the picture, and I figure out, oh, I can go this way or I can go that way. So every time I would go like a different way, or I'd find some cool leaves or something to bring back to the kids to check out. I mean, by that time I was really missing the Ontario trees because everything changes color in the fall. It's just so, and it's all different shapes and colors and everything, whereas like in BC, mostly it's just green, 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 and some birch trees, and from my recollection, but and from where I went. But yeah, it was beautiful. I wasn't used to it. So I can go on and on about nature trails, but I won't. Let's see. Merville, Vancouver Island. I had a great time with the kids. It was like I think, 8-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 2-year-old. Mostly I hung out with the two older boys and like played hide and seek in their like woods backyard. It was like this, but like bigger. They had a huge just woods in their backyard. It was unbelievable, like just so beautiful. And they were so sweet. For like the first 20 times they kept hiding in the same spot. I think they were just being nice, like maybe going easy on me. And I finally talked to them. I was like, you can change your hiding spot. It was getting really dark. So, yeah, and then the toddler was just like adorable as anything. So, she usually had daycare though, or early childcare, and then I would help out whenever they needed help with her. And yeah, these chickens though, oh my gosh, they had personality. This was a great like chicken coop, like the best one I've seen so far, and it was a manageable amount of chickens, and I swear they were smiling, some of them. Like they really have. I did like a whole photo shoot with just me and the chickens, and oh my gosh, they were awesome. And I had no fear around them whatsoever by then, and they were just so cool. And I didn't even eat eggs at that time, but I collected the eggs and all the stuff I was supposed to do. And let's see, what else did I do there? Yeah, a bunch of things. So then I figured out, I always figure out how to take the bus and explore the area. Other than walking to the ocean and walking on the trails. I built a campfire on the beach. Well, I tried to, but it kind of worked. It kind of didn't. It was a very short fire, but that was nice. And it was a lot of work. So I took the bus, the local bus there to Courtenay. Courtenay? Um, and yeah, just walked around there. Oh, there's this donut place. It was so amazing. Like I don't really eat donuts, and if I do, I only have this one specific kind that I like really, or that I could eat. And but this place was like gourmet donuts. Oh, is it called? I think it was called Bigfoot Donut. Oh, so good. Oh, I didn't see any Bigfoot. I was hoping I would, but apparently they show themselves more to non-believers. Yeah, probably part of the I forgot the word for it. Bigfoot collective, or Chewbacca, more like space Bigfoot collective. I feel more connected to. Who knows? But yeah, I love all of that stuff. I just didn't see any, except I had my Bigfoot donut, and it was like some pumpkin cheesecake, something. And it was so delicious, and my tummy was so happy with it. Like usually I can't eat cheesecake or cream cheese or whatever, but this was like top notch, high quality ingredients. I don't know what they use, made with love. It was so so good. Um, what else did I? Yeah, and I just walked around and got a feel for the place, and it was like really up and down walking kind of thing. Not too much, not like San Francisco or anything, but it was a bit hilly, and yeah, so I got to explore some of the main town there, city, town. That was really nice. Um, let's see. So after that, I went to my sixth, no, fifth placement on Hornby Island. So it's a little island off of Vancouver Island, and there I got to plant garlic again and deliver briquettes, which was actually quite physical work, even though the briquettes themselves are not that heavy, but you're doing it over and over again. And briquettes are just like, I don't know, instead of firewood, people use this, and they're called briquettes, and they look like bricks, but they're not that heavy, and they come in like a pack. And so he had a whole like skiff or whatever it's called, and he had a big truck. So he loaded it up on there, and then we both, delivered. That was part of my woofing, helping out, because it was really chill, and I barely had to do anything. And then some days, we plant garlic or do something more physical. So I offered to like do other things, like deep clean his kitchen, or help him with stuff on the computer. He was an older senior guy, really really cool, really unique person, and oh, he loved my cooking, like loved it. It was just very very bare bones kind of cook person. So yeah, he I made like dumplings from scratch. I made all these different things like Indian food he loved, and yeah. So like pataks, pataks, the jar Indian thing. Like you just eat that with bread usually. I'm like, I can make you like Indian food if you like those flavors. So yeah, it was good. Um, so Hornby Island, that I had to take the island bus to the ferry to another island, and then from there hitchhike and get a ride to well, people were so sweet, and it's such a small island, to the other ferry terminal, which was like across that island. I forget the name, starts with a D, I think. And then from that island to Hornby Island, and it only takes like 20-30 minutes, I think, to like drive across from one end of Hornby Island to the other, something like that. Pretty cool. So yeah, that was quite the trek, but really beautiful to just, the scenery and everything. And in this place, so I would say it was like I knew what I was getting into. I definitely looked at the posting. I looked at it very close, and I was like, "Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for Little House on the Prairie. Like, let's do this Amish styles." All right, I either want one extreme or the other. So it's like Amish paradise, or I want Star Trek right now. live long and prosper, you know? Uh, not this like technology that works but doesn't work and is strange and weird and makes sense but doesn't make sense. But anyway, makes things easy but hard at the same time. Um, we'll get there. We'll get there. And so it was very rustic. I knew that. And I knew exactly, what I was getting into, but I never had this experience before. So that was a unique, really awesome, cool part of it. Um, I can't say like, I wouldn't do it again. It was maybe too rustic. If there's aspects I really love, like, okay, it might be gross for some people, but I'm totally comfortable talking about and learning about these things. They had the best composting toilet. So it was outdoor, and his neighbor friend is very like enthusiastic about how to make, like, get it to be great fertilizer eventually. The way she designed it, it's like one side and then another side, and it's up, like you have to go up these stairs, and you have to put a special, I don't know, mulch or sawdust mixture thing, and she just uses it for like the flower beds and stuff like that. So it's not used for growing any food that anyone's eating. It's just, and then those flowers are great because then the bees and stuff help pollinate, something like that. So there's a science involved, and there is a way to do it well. And from what I could see, she was doing it. She designed it very, very well, and she, always came and checked up on it and made sure everything was running smoothly. And that was like, it was so beautiful. Like, if it was raining and there's like a door, but there's like a big window, and like that was great. Okay, other places I was missing my flush toilet that I'm used to, but not here. It was really well designed. I can't say enough good things about this composting toilet that was like, I don't know, 20 steps from the house. So that was perfect. It was just awesome. So they had an outdoor shower for the summer, but it wasn't summer. Yeah, by then it was like November, and it was definitely getting chilly. And he had a bathtub, but it was like in the communal area, and it wasn't really my style. So I thought of it myself. I was like, I can do sponge bath, because if you have the right equipment, I can do that no problem in my room. So yeah, I did that. So I make sure I have a towel, a big basin and stuff. So he had the right stuff that I needed, and pouring things, and a big bowl and everything. So I figured it out, and I washed my hair in the kitchen sink. And that's where I brush my teeth as well. And in my room, again, I don't mind talking about it. I'm comfortable. I've worked with children for a very long time, so you deal with pee and poop and everything else, vomit and everything. So you get comfortable with all the gross stuff. So yeah, I had a pee bucket. Yep. Yeah, I did. In my room. So the only thing I would say with that is try to get a lid. Because yeah, I drink a lot of coffee. I was drinking a lot of coffee at that time because I just had access to this espresso tin, and I had the best coffee. Anyways, the lid helps with the smell. But other than that, very easy to use, and he had the perfect pee bucket for me, and other people have used it, and I had to walk down the steps and just go dump it in the garden. There was like a special area where all the branches and stuff were. And that actually helps because, it's actually really good for the soil, and that special area that's just for, dumping pee. So whatever nutrients your body has already used up and then it's left over and what you're peeing out, there's still some nutrients left. That's how it was explained to me, and then that goes into the soil. So it's actually a really good system, I think. I wanted to implement it when I came back, actually. I was so enthusiastic about it, but it was like, in the city, in the backyard, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, it's a little out there, for some people. So I did not do that, but I contemplated it. So what else? Yeah, that was like the rustic nature of it. But you know what I really loved, like he had like those cast iron type of fireplace thing. So you could put your like your teapot or whatever on there, and you can let that warm up while you're like stoking the fire. And oh, he had this great teenage cat, you know, little rambunctious little guy, and testing its boundaries. Oh, I had fun. We had fun in terms of training. Like first, I let the kitty cat come to me on his own, and you know that took like an hour. He was just feeling me out. But I was just sitting calmly on the couch, like, all right, whenever you're ready, all right. But also, like, I was setting the energy, like, I do not tolerate scratching or biting or anything of the such. You will get reprimanded if you try any of that. I was just internally, you know, when you send that kind of energy, I feel like animals and very young children pick up on it. And they're like, all right, you're not as, I can't take advantage of you like I do with that guy. All right, got it. So something like that. Or like, I need to learn how to communicate differently with you because you're saying something and I don't like it. And I'll be like, no, no, you know? So my whole body language changes if they try that, and this teenage cat got it pretty quickly. But first we had a nice bonding experience and good massage. But that was the only time. After that, it was all training and testing. You know, he's testing his boundaries and everything. So the host there, he really, really appreciated that. And, you know, I'm like, what's his favorite food? We're going to use that to get him to use the cat door that's up on the loft. So this cat's going to learn how to jump here, jump there, and then up on the loft, and then go up through this little cat door that's up there, and then figure out how to, you know, get outside and inside that way. Oh my gosh, I had a lot of fun. It was just working. It was so almost exactly for me working with children with autism, because it's all about pairing positive items with aversive activities. Like he did not want to go up there, and you know, the host was like fine with trying to pick him up and put him there, but you know, he's scratching, he's making a, you know, I was like, you catch more bees with honey. So we're gonna lure him up there, we're gonna entice him, we're gonna make it very irresistible, you know, and do baby steps and consistency and over and over and over and repetition. So anyways, I get way too excited when I talk about anything that has to do with early child care, which is good because that's my business, that's my calling and my purpose. But I'll leave that story there because I can tell I'm going to go on and on otherwise. But it was successful, let's just say that. There's a lot of aluminum tin foil balls being thrown around by me. Yeah, very successful. And yeah, I'm actually going to leave this here. So I'm definitely going to do a part 5 to talk a little bit about New Brunswick, my amazing time in New Brunswick, the other coast, and whatever I remember about Hornby Island, I will put into that video as well. So thank you. Signing off. I wish you well.